tripping the mic on Sunday nights, presenting you with 2020 visions. So join us this day and every Sunday night with Ameerah the Songstress and on Blog Talk Radio, a for sure way to start your week off right. 2020 visions on Drip the Mic.
It's Ameerah the Songstress. No regret. You're tapped into 2020 Vision on Drip the Mic Network. All is well. Stay focused. Hey, you guys. Yes. We made it back up in here another Sunday. I miss you guys. I've been gone for 2 weeks, recuperating.
Yeah. I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, getting some things together, And, but I'm glad to be back. I miss you guys when I'm not back. I go through all kinds of withdrawals and, all kinds of shenanigans when I'm not here. But welcome to 2020 Vision, baby! Stay focused! Hey. I'm so excited. I'm not alone. I am certainly not alone. Today we are promoting the vote, and I brought some of my favorite artists with me, some spoken word artists, some dignitaries, some actors, some singers, some writers, we about to do the thing. Y'all not ready. But for this Sunday and the next Sunday, we're going to be doing this. We really want you guys to get out there and let your voice be heard. Again, like I said, I'm not alone, so we have E.Mandisa Subira with us today. Yeah.
Peace, beautiful. Peace. It's a pleasure to be with you again.
Yes, it's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you again for coming on and sharing with us and building with us. We appreciate it here on 2020 Vision. We also have Britt Double X, or 11X. I'm sorry, I want to say double X because I see the 1-1. 11X with us, the human Chandelier, darling. Chandelier. Say hello to the people. Can we hear her? Say hello to
everybody.
The
How
there
are you
she
doing?
Is. Yes. Okay, there we go.
Such a pleasure being here today.
Wonderful. We're glad to have you, and we're going to get into some things.
Okay.
Moving right along, we have none other than Aziez The Peomanologist. He is the president of Drip the Mic Network, and he'll be adding on to this conversation and this art-filled evening.
How y'all doing?
Wonderful.
Super funky, fantastic.
That's what's up. Let's get this vote. Let's get these people off the vote, man. Let's have some good conversation. Let's get it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And then we also have the singer-songwriter and the vocal coach, none other than Jamal Lamont with us.
Woo!
Yes. Look at you, brother.
What's up, everybody? What's going on? Thanks for having me again. I'm excited.
Yes. Glad to have you. And then last but certainly not least, we have Monia Amore with us, joining us from New York, baby. Singer, songwriter, actress, and host as well. Say hello to the people, Monia.
Hey, guys. Great to be here.
And, again, I want to thank you guys out there for supporting us. We started this journey in February of 2020, and we've been broadcasting out of UBN Studios in Burbank since March. And you guys have just been hanging out with us, showing us so much love. I want to shout out to you guys in Facebook land. When I look at the numbers and I look at all the stats, I'm just going to be real. Facebook, y'all keep it lit. The numbers are always in the hundreds when I look at you all. We're trying to get them to the thousands, but I'm thankful for everything that you guys are doing in regards to chiming in and chatting it up with us and just staying tuned and staying focused with us on 2020 Vision. So shout out to you, Facebook people. And shout out to you, Twitter. And shout out to you, IG. You guys like watching from behind the scenes. And definitely shout out to YouTube. YouTube. Shout out to you as well. Thank you so much for sticking in here with us. And we're taking your chats today. We're taking your calls at 646-378-0355. Press 1 if you want to chime in, if you want to add on to the conversation, or if you have any questions for our panel today. They're going to be performing, and they're going to be letting their voice be heard in more than one way. Y'all know how I like to do before we get this thing started. I want to do some shout outs. First of all, October was full of birthdays, and I know I am forgetting a million people's birthday before I say it. So let me just say happy birthday to all the October birthdays. It was Libra. It was Libra. Libra, and what else? What was
Scorpios.
And Scorpio. Libras and Scorpios. It was my brother's Aziz's birthday on the 13th. I didn't get the chance to come in and do the show, so I didn't get a chance to let everyone know at the World Wide Web that my brother Aziz's birthday he was born October the 13th. Y'all say happy birthday to my brother Aziz.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy solar return.
Absolutely. Thank you. Baby sis, I really thank you for the shout out. It is the 12th, but I'm
sorry.
going to give you a pass on that one.
Sorry. You embarrassed me. You could have texted me that.
Yeah, so I turned 29.
Good for you.
Yeah, I turned 29 and feeling good. Thank y'all.
And also my girl Stelita, the resident diva, I like to call her. She's a singer and professional performance artist in San Diego. So her birthday just passed over last weekend. So want to shout her out as well. And then also I know Monia. When was yours?
My birthday was October 7th.
October 7th. Y'all shout her out. Happy birthday, Monia.
It's Monet, but thank you.
Okay. I've been calling you Monet, but when I was looking at your Instagram,
The way it's spelled,
you have on there the pronunciation Monet, and I was like, I've been calling her Monet for several years, and
That's
Okay, cool. All right, so that was the birthdays, and you know what? I wanted to shout out Alicia Ford. She just opened up her shop in Bellflower, California, and she's a young lady that I watched grow with her business. I started with her. I started going to her when she was still doing it in her home. And shout out to everybody that has their business in their home. Ain't no shame on it. But when you can add on to the community and bring wealth into the community, especially our community, because we know we need it, I think it deserves a special celebration. So I want to shout out Alicia Ford. Show, we took some clips when we were at her grand opening. Show that for me, Tony.
I know your type. You're the type that flies, and everything is good inside your world. I know your type, electrify the skies, and everybody wants to be that girl. You're just the type to leave the class with grace and style.
Special shout out to you, Alicia Ford. You go, girl. I'm going to bring her on here next Sunday so she can talk to us a little bit about what she's doing in the community. And we want to just say congratulations to you.
Cool song.
Huh?
That was a cool song.
Thank you. I wrote it myself.
I knew that was you.
Thank you. It's an homage to women like yourself.
Oh, no.
Mute her. Okay, so we want to move on, and we got some TikTok videos. My favorite part. TikTok videos. This one is from Miss Cat. I really like her, Katie Florence. I really like her. She does these little TikTok videos all the time, and she's so entertaining. Somebody better give her a deal. She better get a role in a movie or a TV show or something. But I really like her. Shout out to Katie Florence, and check this TikTok video out.
Why do they always fall asleep immediately right after? I'm gonna talk. Pussy put his ass to sleep. Now he calling me nightclub. Ooh, I'm pretty sure it was the 5 shots of tequila that he took earlier that put him to sleep, but like, go off. Logic, you got one more time to try my shit. Why is he getting text messages at 3 a.m.? So who's gonna check the phone? Honey, ignorance is bliss. I guarantee whatever that text says, you're not gonna like. Yeah, I'm just gonna let you know right now if you don't check it. I'm just gonna keep you up all night with different scenarios of what that text could say. I'll check it. No! Don't start. You shove your feelings down. Shove them. Shove them down. Shove them down. Shove them down. Don't. I'm fine. I have no reason to be upset because he's not my man. So I can't be upset. Okay, your man, her man, our man, I don't give a fuck. Wake his ass up. I'm not sharing.
Yo, she nailed it.
Sometimes it's like that.
Yeah, she nailed it.
It is like that sometimes. Yeah. Look at all the ladies.
What was that TV show, Herman's Head?
What?
Where he had all the little, what was that TV show where he had all the little personalities in his head? Was it Herman's Head?
Y'all, anybody remember? Somebody chime in. Henry? Yeah. Okay.
I don't remember. Am I showing my age? Am I showing my age? All right.
I'm just trying to remember. Did we lose?
But okay, so it was pretty much like that. It was the same concept, but they had the people were actually like he run into a situation, and if it was a sad situation, it was a girl in his head, and she would start crying. They had like a goofball for his goof. Herman's Head, man. I think that I bet Tony remember it.
It's called Herman.
Go ahead.
It's called Herman's Head. It came in. It started 1991, 3 seasons.
See,
there you go.
See, y'all was about to talk about it. Y'all about what this old motherfucker talking about? See, old ass nigga talking shit.
I was a little girl. No, I'm playing.
But,
see if she's gonna try to call back in. Yeah. Okay, maybe she'll call back in. Okay, all right. And then last we have Miss Tuck Your Feelings. Miss Tuck Your Feelings. Is that what it is next? No. Oh, fuck your feelings. Miss Fuck Your Feelings. Okay. Okay, Miss Fuck Your Feelings. Thank you for sending this one in. This TikTok video. Check this one out.
And listen, Proud Boys or whatever you want to call yourselves who think you're going to try to start some type of war if Trump gets kicked out of office, don't do it. That's not what you want. Look at that right there. What does that say? That's after 21 years of service. I and people like me train all the time for stuff like this. I'm not talking going to your little backwoods and shooting some tin cans off a damn fence post. I'm talking about put a bullet between somebody's eyes on the first try training. And when y'all put y'all little bullshit gear on and try to stroll around Walmart playing soldier, we put the gear on for our actual adversaries, people who are trying to kill Americans. That's why we wear it. And we don't take little sissy pictures of ourselves to try to scare fellow Americans like y'all punk asses do. And y'all getting hyped, puffing your chests out for what? Having to wear a damn mask? That's what y'all getting in people's faces about? Please. Yeah, we know y'all got erections over Donald Trump saying stand up and stand by whatever the hell he said. But guess what? He has security. You don't. And there's a whole lot more of us than you. Don't let him get you fucked up.
And on that note, we're going to get into this conversation.
Just sad.
So without actually beyond conversation, we're going beyond conversation today. We're we want to keep you inspired and we want to keep you knowledge filled about what's going on, and we want to promote the vote. We want you guys to get out there and let your vote be heard. I want to start out the conversation, and I want to start out the performances with E.Mandisa Subira, the actor, activist, astrologer, choreographer, writer, educator, alchemist, mystic, and goddess. Currently working on a film. What's the name of the film that you're working on, E.Mandisa?
We're working on a short film called Matter.
Okay.
It's a 10-minute short about a young African American woman who loses her. Well, I guess she can't be too young because she's got a teenage son, but she lost him to a police shooting, and it's a really deep film. So we're hoping to shop it around the film festivals.
Well, congratulations on that, and I think it's time appropriate.
Nice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wonderful cast. We have a wonderful class. I'm a producer. Our director and the writer, he's a young Asian filmmaker who just felt like there was something getting lost in all the hoopla, you know, the people that get left behind.
Okay.
You know, especially the mothers. So
okay.
It's a beautiful piece.
Wow.
Wonderful. And then you're going to be starting your show on Drip the Mic Network on November 2nd. Am I correct?
November 9th. Actually, November 9th.
Okay,
And I'm
okay.
really excited
Things
about
been
it.
changing.
We have a team of health and wellness people and mystics and alchemists, and we're really excited to join the team.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Glad to have you. Definitely glad to have you.
Absolutely.
You were also involved with the United Nations Movement Musicians' Rights and Empowerment. You want to speak up just a quick blurb about that?
Well, you know, I've been in legislative politics for over 25 years, and that's more than close to half of my life. And so this conversation, I really hope kind of goes into different layers from somebody that's actually been in legislative politics. I look at policy, not personality, and not propaganda, which is actually what's got us fighting right now. However, I had the blessing of working with Prince when I lived in Minnesota. And we worked on a World Healing Benefit concert and things that he wanted to do, community gardens and things of that nature. But the thing that he was most passionate about was artist rights. So recently we had an Artist Rights Constitution Week here in Seattle. I flew people in from Ohio, Nevada, and California, and we sat down and we began to write a musician's constitution. Constitutions are very powerful. In fact, Washington State's constitution is extremely powerful compared to the United States Constitution because it was written 100 years afterwards. So the musicians here in Seattle and in Washington State in particular are getting very organized with our freedom of speech using the Constitution of Washington State.
Wonderful. I just want to give the people a couple of your accolades, if you don't mind. Precinct Committee Officer at 32nd Legislative District, ordained minister at the Universal Life Church Ministries, producer, talk show host at the E.Mandisa Effect, former consultant project manager at Paisley Park, and then you studied theater at the University of Washington. So I just wanted to tell people who they about to mess with. That's all. So I understand that you have a wonderful piece that you would like to share with us, and we're here for it.
Yes, I do. Let me wet my palate here real quick.
Sure.
Seahawks, I'm geared up. Okay, so this piece is called As Above, So Below. And I wrote this piece probably about 10, 15 years ago. I just woke up angry at the state of the world. And I pretty much channeled the whole piece. And so I think it pretty much sums up anything that I could ever say about politics and our role in politics. So here we go. I haven't done this for a while, so let's see how this goes. I tried to turn myself invisible, but I couldn't hide. There was too much pain inside. Misery occupied like husband and bride, for every unified connection cannot be untied. You can't divide the yin from the yang, the light from the dark, even when the ark of the divine covenant is at play. I sail away every day, flying high, asking the ancestors why do I exist? Certainly it's not to subsist and persist and subsist in this madness called life. so full of strife, becoming a wife to a beater, cheater, no good deeder, negativity breeder? Oh no, 'cause Lady Day said, girlfriend, you got to know that God bless the child that's got her own. That's got her own. So I have grown. I've pulled a sword from the stone. I'm no longer alone because truth walks with me, and righteousness is my throne. And time has shown me a me I've never known. I'm not yet perfected, but I'm being molded and sewn into the tapestry of universality. And now reborn, I must proclaim my divinity. Into the fire of the sun I soar. Oh no, there's so much in store for the woman who bore the only begotten son, the one who came without shame to rain down upon this darkness with his light. So bright was his sight that they could not hear, see, or speak of the evil that they manifested. See, they're all invested and molested and infested in this torture, murder, and rape that helped to shape this econ on me. This economy of blood, sweat, and tears, and capitalizing on fears with made-up half-truths that dance in our ears for years and years and years, while the elephants and the mules who make and then break the rules say, what destruction? What strife? What bondage? What life? While the yellow, black, and brown, well, we all wear a frown, while the red remain dead, while the white buffalo dances with the eagle. I don't know, probably because it ain't illegal, but why are we the kings and queens so regal? We silent, because we all know how it all went down, yet we run around town saying no justice, no peace, and get beat by the police, while the corporate and governmental thief forbid the belief that justice is for one and all. I said, we all know how it all went down, yet we run around town saying no justice, no peace, but we refuse to squash beef in our own families, communities, churches, organizations, and in these streets. While the corporate and governmental thief condone the belief that justice is for one and all. It's time to wake up, y'all. It's time to stand up, y'all. It's time for Babylon to fall, for her wickedness and her gall, and for her need to stand tall and make the common man fall under her iron fist, with her need to enlist and insist that we all comply, with her need to get high and lie and push apple pie, their terrorism and war, and let's even the score. We're a chosen generation no more. We become the target market for this American harlot with her sex, drugs, greed, and fake artists. Artists that sell that American cell, that living hell, for which there is no wishing well, that can tell us the price required to get inspired and activate and motivate and recreate the divine appearance and the no fear adherence of our ancestors. Because see, they were the true investors and inventors of this fight to be the light and to replace wrong with right and to ignite a true revolution, which is a hip-hop infusion of love. Because as below, so above. I refuse to be a broke revolutionary. All power to the people.
Oh, power to the people.
All power to the people. Thank you, E.
Yo. Oh, wow.
That was dope.
That was crazy. That was crazy. That was crazy. That was crazy. I loved it. Wow.
Yeah. So I have a couple of questions for you, E. That's going to I hope it's going to open up the conversation. So even though I'm asking these questions to each artist as we go through the panel, I want us all to be able to chime in after actually after E.Mandisa, after you lead us in this in the answer to these questions. I want us all to be able to chime in. So your first question is, what's been on the top of your list as it regards the elections? And what message have you been trying to get out to the people as an activist in this climate?
Well, the one thing that I can say before I even answer this question is I came from a very abusive household.
Okay.
And I had a father and 3 mothers.
Okay.
And when I was able to escape that life, I decided I didn't like people making decisions for me and I didn't have a say in it.
Okay.
So wherever there are decisions being made for me, I go there. I don't care if they're Democrat. I don't care if they're Republican. I don't care if they're hood rat. I don't care if they're king of England. I'm going to go there if you're making decisions for me and mine. Mm-hmm. So I have to preface that. Mm-hmm. So in terms of the election, because I do this work constantly, I have to look at it into the whole context of the 2 decades that I've been working in the political party. I've never been a Democrat. I started off as a third party candidate because, the 2 parties are idiots. So I started off in third party politics. So in particular, this election, I've just been focused on local politics because all politics is local. And I've been focusing on creating bridges of understanding and conversations between people and trying to get to the issues so that we can create policies. And like I said in the beginning, the propaganda that's being put out there, it's called political theater for a reason. We're all being played. So I try to get people to look at policy over personality and to look at progress rather than being progressive. Okay. Because both Malcolm X and Martin Luther King warned us that white progressives are the enemy of Black people.
Wow. Anybody else want to deal with that? And I'm going to go kind of fast because we got a lot of information to cover and I want to make sure that every artist on this panel has their say. So we're going to kind of go a little fast. But does anybody else want to deal with that or comment on what she just said?
I just want to agree that like a lot of people just focus on Trump or the president. We have to start focusing on who we're electing locally, who we're electing in the Senate. And I just agree. I just want to echo what she says. I agree with that 1,000%.
Me too.
I also agree.
We hear you, Britt.
I also agree.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody else?
I need me an outfit like that. We got to talk.
She does look lovely.
Right?
I'm not even excited to vote this year. Like, honestly, I really don't care. Mm-hmm. I'm going to vote because, I believe that's what we're supposed to do. And I honestly feel like it would be irresponsible not to vote. But I'm so, not inspired to vote. And I agree with what you guys are saying. Like, the local propositions and measures are definitely most important. And they always are. But it's just so much, it's so much politics. I'm just I don't like none of it. It seems like everything's a political game. And it's just at the end of the day, this is our lives. I'm just sick of it all. Yeah, that's just my 2 cents.
And we want your 2 cents. It's welcomed here. That's exactly why we're here. Everybody needs to have a voice, and every thought, every opinion, all the energy is welcome. I'm definitely here for it today. So, and I hope that's what everyone is tuned in for, so that we can have a conversation about this. We all are human, but we all are made differently, and we all have our own opinions, and we have a right to those, and that's part of what this country was supposed to be founded on. So we want it all. We want the smoke here on 2020 Vision today. Monet, I don't want to leave you out. Is there anything you wanted to add on?
Yeah, I did actually. I just think that that's more of a reason why it's important for us to vote. Not only vote, but like the sister said, you got to know and pay attention to, who we're voting for locally. We got to pay attention to policy. We have to pay attention to the things. See, I think people tend to get caught up in this minstrel show that's going on between these two candidates, and that's only the distraction to distract us from what we're supposed to be doing, the responsibility that we have. And the brother just said, I'm not even inspired, but that was the plan, to get you to be uninspired. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just think that that's all the more reason why we have to really start digging in, doing our own research.
That's right.
And educating ourselves.
That's right. I concur.
For sure.
Yep. All right. Well, we're going to move on to our next special guest. She goes by the name of Brit 11X, the Human Chandelier. She is a singer, songwriter, a model, actress, dancer, rapper, and host. You can see her in the movie Firstborn, and you can see her IMDb page for more information on that. You can also catch her on the radio as a special guest host on Fridays, 7 to 8 p.m. on 100.9 FM. And she's I'm sorry.
I said yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, and she's currently promoting her single, What's Going On in the World. Britt.
Yes, I am.
Welcome to 2020 Vision, baby.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. Here we go. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Before you perform for us, I wanted you to tell us a little bit about your show on Fridays at on 100.9 FM. Tell us a little bit about that before you plant that song on us.
Okay, so I'm with 100.9 FM with the Stay Ready Boys, with the Stay Ready team, and it's about just young artists that's trying to get their music heard. If you think you got what it takes, then email your music to stayreadyradio@gmail.com.
Yes. So another platform for the people.
Yes.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for being involved in that. And so you're going to perform the single for us right now.
Wait,
yes, I am.
Yes. I have a question for you.
Yes.
What inspired you to? I'm assuming you named yourself the Human Chandelier.
Chandelier. Yes.
What is that about? Like, what inspired that?
Well, I always have crystals on my face. So, it's chandelier. So,
yeah.
Human Chandelier.
Fabulous, darling.
I like, sparkly things,
yes.
Diamonds and gems.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
So usually my outfit is all chandelier too.
She said chandelier. Well, we got to get our shine on, ladies. So it's all about the light.
Definitely.
All right. Without further ado, would you please bless us with the song, What's Going On in the World?
I hope you guys enjoy it. There are so many people dying. The world has been shut down.
Yes.
I pray for all the family.
Sing, Brett.
And for the kids that are out of school now. What's going on in the world? Oh, yeah. What's going on in the world today? COVID-19, coronavirus disease, yeah. What's going on in the world today? The stores are empty. The elderly can't get food today. There is no water or tissue. We are plastered to the TV watching the news. What's going on in the world? COVID-19, coronavirus disease, yeah. What's going on in the world today? It could be me, it could be you. We don't know, so watch what you do. Wash your hands and stay at home. Enjoy your family, yeah. 'Cause you never know. What's going on in the world today? COVID-19, coronavirus disease, yeah. What's going on in the world today? What's going on in the world today? What's going on in the world today? What's going on in the world?
Yes. Yes.
You guys are awesome.
I love it, Brett. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I'm going to shorten your name just for the sake of the show.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. You don't have to say the whole sentence.
But I love
beautiful, beautiful voice.
I love your voice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate
the tone.
It's everything.
I appreciate your kind words, guys.
Where can we find? Is it out currently?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's on Spotify, iTunes, Tidal, Amazon, YouTube. For free, you can go on YouTube and Spotify and check it out. I have 4 albums actually out right now at the same time. It's the Human Chandelier collection. They go by mood.
Okay.
So one is if you're in a relationship and you're angry, you pop that in, you'll stay angry. The last song is clarity, so hopefully you get some clarity at the end of it all.
Yes.
The green one is if you're jealous and sad in a relationship. The black one is if you're in love, and the silver one is if you're just trying to be happy. So, you know, sometimes we just want to stay in the mood and we just don't want to jump around. So, you know, I came out with 4 different moods.
That's smart. Smart marketing. I love it.
Thank you.
So, and we'll be able to find all those different projects on all the platforms, correct?
Yes. So I'm sure if you put in Brit 11X without the whole sentence, the Human Chandelier, it'll pop up.
Okay. Okay. I'm looking forward to going through your discography. Again, love your voice, love your sound, and we definitely love the message.
Thank you. You guys are much appreciated.
Well, I have a couple of questions for you to open up some more conversation for us.
Okay.
Okay. Question. How has the state of the world affected your career in the entertainment industry, good or bad? And that's the first one. I have 2 questions. Let's start with that question.
Okay, so it's been bittersweet.
Okay.
We have to adjust when things happen.
Mm-hmm.
So at first it was kind of rough.
Okay.
But then actually I got on the ball, and since everything has been happening, I've actually got a new contract with Fox Soul. I produce for Fox Soul.
Yes.
And I've also got a new job at the radio station as a host for 100.9 FM.
Yes. But
all this was done on I'm on Zoom right now for this. All this was done just with live interactions on video.
Well, congratulations.
I didn't have to leave the house or anything like that. But besides that, the other things are rough. We can't really get out there and go to clubs and different stuff and perform. And that's where a lot of the money is, so we can't do our usual scenarios. But besides that, like, God has been blessing me, he's been keeping me above water.
Yes. And isn't that it, just when we think it's for our bad, God means it for our good. So
definitely.
I definitely concur. Any other artists we have a lot of artists on the panel. Anybody else want to deal with that?
Definitely not performing like I used to. Definitely missing out on that coin. But I do work 9 to 5. I work for an insurance company, and like insurance is a necessity. So I've been blessed to still, be fully employed or whatever. And I work from home with that. But it does suck not like performing live. I've been on set a few times, but with that has been like stipulations. Of course, you gotta get tested for COVID, like a lot of times. So the entertainment industry has definitely been affected. So yeah, it's so interesting. Just so different now.
Yeah.
Definitely. I also was in a major musical stage play. We were going on tour right when the pandemic started, and we had to cancel.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I know that story. I know how that goes. Believe me. What about you, Monet? Right when you were gone, we asked about how has the state of the world affected us as artists, and we asked Britt the question, but we want to give everybody a chance to chime in on that. There you go.
Well, it's pretty much the same as everybody else. I haven't been able to perform. We were actually contracted. Well, I sing as a solo artist, and I also am in a band with Leon, the actor, and we have like a reggae band. We got contracted to do like these cruise ships and these casinos and all these things, and it just shut us right on down. We were so excited and getting outfits, and we were doing everything. And but I the one thing about COVID-19, and I don't want to sound selfish or anything, but it definitely allowed me to work. I work full time as well.
Okay.
And I'm a lab tech, and I was still able to assist in working on some of they're looking to find different cures and things like that in our lab. So that was something that was helpful. So I just feel like whatever's meant to be will be. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep. I concur.
Very true.
I'm still promoting my single.
For sure.
Always.
And we're going to promote it here too.
Always.
Okay, I have one more question for you, Brett.
Okay.
Let's see. I need to wear glasses. I just refuse. If you are voting, what type of changes in our government do you hope your vote will affect?
I mean, just positive changes. I mean, I really don't know what to say with that. I hope this thing start to get on track. It's been a messed up world in the first place, but it's been like a mask over it. And since, Trump became president, we're starting to really see like things that we kind of knew already, but they were brought to the surface, a lot of secret hatred and different things going on, but I just feel like hopefully everything could be on track. We can get some good people in there and make a good change, because everybody thinks it just deals with the president, but it doesn't, like we were talking about earlier. So, I just hope my vote pushes towards a positive and counts, to change, make this world a better place.
Great answer. Anyone else want to take that question? All right, moving right along.
I think that I would really like to see a change in the police brutality. And there were rumors swirling about certain bills being signed that was giving police the authority to do what is happening now.
Yeah.
In terms of just violating our rights.
Absolutely.
I hope that that's not true, but I definitely would like to see a change in that.
Yeah,
we've lost so many brothers and sisters.
Yeah,
senselessly.
I agree. Totally agree. And I'll chime in on that. I'll answer that question myself. I hope my vote will put some people in office that's willing to listen to us and move as the Black community and move on some of the things, some of the changes that we want to see. I hope we put in office someone that feels obligated to succumb to the pressure that we as the Black community will be trying to put on our legislative to make the necessary changes so that we can exist freely in this country for real. So I do want to add my answer to that question. Anyone else want to deal with that before we move on? Okay.
Just kind of like going back to what I'm sorry, what the young lady was saying.
Britt or Monia?
Get her name, sorry.
Britt or Monia?
But she's speaking about police brutality. It would be nice if there was like a summit or like some kind of like televised thing where like the police can speak and the people can speak, and like we all come up with ideas together.
Yeah.
As to how we could like remedy like this police brutality situation, because yes, it's definitely the police and they have the issue, but I'm just wondering like what us as civilians can do to not just telling them that they're wrong, not just telling each side that they're wrong. Like yes, we have to discuss those things, but like in what way can we serve each side? You know, because nobody's going anywhere. Police aren't going anywhere. The people definitely aren't going anywhere. So it'd be nice to just see like some kind of like organized event where like we could all just like pour our hearts out, but then like come up with solutions to like make a better future. I feel like that's probably too much to ask these days, but I'm just like something has to happen. Like we can't keep having this conversation of like this police brutality conversation. It just can't keep going. It's not fair.
What were you gonna say, E.Mandisa?
No, I was just going to say, again, that there doesn't need to be a big summit with us all there. You need to get to go, there's a precinct in each one, it's not the entire police department that it governs your neighborhood. It's one or two precincts.
Right.
So you need to organize in your own community, and you need to hold them accountable there. Each police department is different. See, if we knew, one of the reasons why the guy in the George Floyd thing is getting away with it is because Minnesota police officers are trained in that maneuver. Okay. They're trained to put the knee on the neck.
Absolutely.
When they talk to other law enforcement officers in other parts of the country, that's not a part of their training.
Right.
So we can't do it all law enforcement. You have to just in Los Angeles in particular. Do you know that a lot of the police officers in Los Angeles not only are not from your community, they come from Arkansas and redneck places because they only have to work so many days off and so many days on.
Right.
We don't have that going on here in Seattle, okay? But what we have going on here in Seattle is a bunch of crazy people that have asked to defund the police department. So I was able to bring my brother, Aziez Shabazz from the Nation of Islam out here to talk to these white folks because he's had a community policing agency in Columbus, Ohio that's worked for decades. So these people running around talking about defund the police, they don't know what that means. So we brought in a professional who's now going to sit down with city council, and we're going to sit down with the police, and we're going to talk about what we can do here locally. Right. You have to know specifically what your police department, what they're governed by, how powerful their police guild is.
Yes.
All politics is local. It really is. And these people that are at the national level, where do you think they came from?
Local.
Yeah, and see, and that's the thing, and I agree 100%. I definitely agree with the summit, but and one very very important element is who is at the summit, right? You have to everybody that you will want to hold accountable. You will have to have a representative from that area, i.e., the police unions. There should not be no summit that there's not a representative from the police unions, because that's where most police power come from. It's the police unions. It's a very, very, very powerful organization. And these are the people who lobby against holding officers accountable for their for murders and other crimes that they commit in the name of the badge. So they could go there and they just don't get treated wrong there. There's nothing a police officer can do in the police union's eyes. Secondly, and just as important, I think there definitely needs to be an agenda, right? So if we're going to bring a specific representative from a specific person, whether it's Black Lives Matter, whether it's the police department, whether it's the police unions, whether it's the prosecutors, whether it's anybody who has something to do with it, we have to have a list of questions and a set of priorities that we have to let them know that we're interested in as a people. And those have to be like some firm stances. But there should not be a summit and the police unions that just hide in the background are exempt. That should not be happening.
Well, it's the whole criminal justice system needs revamping, because you got to think about who's not holding these police officers accountable. The grand jury. Who gets seated on the grand jury? White folks.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not a jury of our peers.
That's right.
Yeah.
So when we can't just talk about, there's so much more involved than just a brother getting shot and us going and tearing cities down. We're not looking at the legislation. We're not looking at the policy. We're not looking at all of the people that play a part in the criminal justice system.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the problem is the top cop in the country is going around saying that he doesn't believe that systemic racism exists.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is the top cop in the country, and I'm talking about Barr. Set up and look right. I've seen him say it several times. Now, this is the same guy who said having people stay at home for the coronavirus is the worst human rights violation since slavery. This is the same guy that said that. Slavery. You did. So again, this guy doesn't even see that there is an issue. I mean, and he looked at it like, to say that there's a narrative, this narrative that there's systemic racism in police departments is ridiculous. These was his words. So you have to understand the forces. The top cop in the nation said that.
Well, I understand that, but also the attorney general before that was involved in running guns and drugs. So again, we can't look at we got to stop with the politicians. We got to stop. It's on us. It's on us.
The people, that's what I'm saying. That was my point right there.
I personally met Howard Dean. Howard Dean was the head of the Democratic National Convention in the early 2000s. He also ran for president of the United States for at least 4 different times. I was at a community meeting and I went up to him and introduced myself to him. And we had a conversation. He pulled me aside and he said, E.Mandisa, all of your Black leaders that are up there in Washington are selling you out to keep their position. Maxine Waters, all of them. I worked with her. I know these people personally. I know their dirt. They're all bought and paid for. That's why I'm not in politics. I'm around politics. Because to be in politics, you have to sell your soul. You go in with the right intentions. I ran a Black Panther, an original Black Panther for U.S. Senate. After 2 weeks of his campaign, I wasn't even going to vote for him anymore.
Wow.
It takes a certain kind of person to be in this game. And most of us aren't willing to be that disgusting and dirty of a person.
This conversation, you guys, is getting really deep. You know, to all my Facebook people that are watching, make sure you chat it up with us. We'll be taking your questions and your comments here in a few minutes, as well as if you want to call in and be heard, we're getting ready to open up the phone lines in a minute. 646-378-0355. Press 1 to let your voice be heard. All of my Instagram people, thank you for checking behind the scenes. But if you're interested in hearing the whole conversation and looking at the panel, please go over to YouTube at Ameerah the Songstress, or Facebook at Ameerah the Songstress, or Twitter at the Songstress. And we want to keep this conversation going on. It's definitely lit, and it's exactly what we need to have at this particular time. But without further ado, I want to introduce the next artist to you all. He goes by none other than Aziez The Peomanologist. He is, I'm sorry, again, I need my glasses. He's the writer, creator, spoken word artist, and the president of Drip the Mic Network. And he is going to bless us today with a piece. Y'all give it up for Aziez The Peomanologist.
Thank you. You ready?
Yep. Ready.
All right. So this piece is called Black Man's Ink. Basically, I'm using it metaphorically for the power of our vote. It's a short piece, so it won't take that long. Again, it's called Black Man's Ink. Our ink is black art. Our ink is the flavor craved by blank ballots standing alone because it's been absent of the voices of our counterparts and being spread apart. We marched with hardened hearts to unpeel and demand that change start, but that only brings us so far. We have identically starved, being sealed with hate-filled lard, inches and yards. It's the only thing between the poles being enlightened with the scars of our potent dark mark. A print that engraves DNA deep in the heart of ghost-colored pages with dry thoughts and refusing to recognize our parts. We must let our ink flow hard and drip large. We can cover bare naked pages and rearrange a whole nation when our spark hits those sensitive sparks. Our ink is a cloud born of its own dilution, polluting the lives in the sky so it appears swift and clear as liquid. We must be willing to reach the bottom of the ocean. Floating together, our ink can be thick as the tar of a dead squid. We're in cold red. A motherfucker bled for us to have a say in the way we move ahead, plan the future for our kids so that they are not part of this misled virus spread. And I ain't talking about COVID. I mean, I love spreading my darkened ink and ebonizing the minds and think of love being me. I love being me. 6'3", about 200 on the LBs, and my sink sprouts enough ink to fill a bottomless glass so there's no last drink. That everlasting peak of our speak will forever be on repeat. Our ink will forever violate the points we make. Will always be turned away until we're 6 feet deep or close, same way they did with Cassius Clay and others who left their ink for me to see. I'm talking Martian, Martin, Malcolm, Tupac, Nipsey, all spread ink in me, so I know I got a leaf on the family tree for show. The strength of our numbers will show. Just get the fuck out there and vote. Together, our pens be strong enough to make them adjust. Gut them at the peak, cut off the lust that seeks to keep our feet concreted in mistrust. Take off the cap, let our message spray the backs with whip marks that was left like road maps. Bricks and stones, jails and burned down homes is only part of the toll stole for our people having the right to vote. So especially now is not the time to abuse or misuse. Right now, we are armed with a bridge to unite and give vision to your own issues. Go nuts, we got numbers to crush like cashews. I shoot these nouns and verbs at you because they wish to depend us so that others who depend on us suffer, thus senescetes are just as vital as others. So the ink that spilled from our pen can win. The ink of a black man is never too thin. Unfiltered when you let us in. Don't amend us. Your reactions offend us. Respect and accept our dialect because our pens won't finish unless the Almighty ends us. And that's that drip.
Yep. Drip the mic, why don't you? Drip the mic,
Wow.
why don't you? Yes.
Yeah. That was fire.
Very inspiring.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of questions for you.
Yes.
Okay. All right. There it is. Okay. What changes would you like to see in the prison system?
Education.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely agree with Joe Biden that drug offenders, that was, when that law came into play that was bringing on mandatory prison systems for people who use drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're selling drugs, keys and things. Hey, it is what it is. You got out there and did it. There's two sides to that. So you got to be ready to accept both sides of that. So you did that.
Right.
But I'm talking about, you got to understand, addiction is a disease. That's a straight up disease. These people are sick.
Mm-hmm.
You're only compounding the problem, locking them up. So I would like to see a whole lot more laws in place where there can be like mandatory drug court or things like that where people can go get help.
Mm-hmm.
Some things I benefit from, as everybody know, that I'm an ex-knucklehead. If y'all don't know my story or whatever, before I got my shit together, jail was my second residence. So, but anyway, when I was there, I benefited from a program called the Second Chance Program, which actually gets you in college, helps to get your record expunged or whatever, and helps you get a degree and become productive in society or whatever. So I would think there should definitely be more transitional programs to help inmates transition back into society, because what happens is, and what adversely affect Black men is that once you get that record, it's a wrap.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's over, and so that vicious cycle just automatically kicks in. Like I hate the narrative that, they get out of jail and they go back and they do the same shit or whatever, which is the case with a lot of them. I've been in jail. I've seen somebody get out that morning and come back that night. So I get that. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is, once a person gets a record, that halts everything. Right. Before there was a space for me to get into this program after I got out of jail. Like, I couldn't get a job for shit. Right. I mean, I couldn't get a job. I mean, I would get a job. Don't get me wrong. No. I would get a job. Let me rephrase that. But either one or two things will happen. I'll start the job and I'll be working there like, I don't know, a month or two. Then my background check will come back. Right. Or I tell the truth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so it's like, what do you do? Now, I'm not saying I wasn't guilty or I didn't do anything to put me in that situation. That's not what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is, after I served my duties, served what I owed to society, and came back out and tried to do things to make myself a productive member of society, there were roadblocks there. Right. I mean, luckily, I kept on pushing, but I would like to see more transitional programs. So.
Right. I concur. I agree with that. I can get behind that as it regards prison reform. Anyone else want to deal with the thought of prison reform?
I think private prisons have to go.
Okay.
Private prisons should not be a thing.
Yes.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Period.
And one thing that the Seattle City Council did here is there's some type of the landlords can't ask. Like, if you have a criminal background, it can't be a deterrent to you being able to rent a home.
To have somewhere to live. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that there, like he says, there needs to be more of that, because it's easy to go back in if you can't get a job, you can't get a place to live, and private prisons are just
and isn't housing a prerequisite to getting out? Like, you have to have somewhere to go in order for them to release you?
Depends on the circumstances.
Okay.
Depends on the circumstances.
Okay, but that thing exists though.
But but I will say this. Like, if the thing about California, one of the things that's really crazy, and I just don't get, like, why a city wants to, like, they're like, you can tell their budget or their revenue is based on their prison system, right? Whether it's county jail or state prison. And I mean, everything around there is targeted. So for example, when I got out, I was on probation. Now I didn't have a probation officer, but they have this thing called a four-way clause that's in a probation, right? So you don't have a probation officer. You don't have to report every month. You don't have to go to court or nothing like that. But what happens is at any time you're stopped or in a situation, it could be a traffic ticket. You know what I mean? It could be, you could be walking on foot. If the police address you and you just happen to be on probation, then they have the four-way search clause is they have automatic right to search you, anybody who's with you, your vehicle, and your home if they're close enough.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, it's called and I mean they're giving it away like it's candy. They give it away like hotcakes.
What?
Like, oh no, we'll let you out, but you're gonna sign this paper. You're gonna sign this four-way search clause, right? So it's a 5-year probation, and they call it the 5-4. 5-year probation, four-way search clause. Mm-hmm. So, E.Mandisa, if me and you, if I was on probation, me and you, I don't know, just going to a poetry show or some shit, right? You innocent, you've never even, let's just say for example, you never even had any type of experience with a police officer. Because I am on probation, you automatically get searched.
That's crazy.
That's ridiculous. I never heard of that.
Wow.
Yeah, look it up. Alameda County, California, 5-year probation, four-way search clause. They give this shit away like candy. And it's
like illegal profiling. That's ridiculous.
Right. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. And put it this way, in Oakland, like in the city of Oakland, anybody that lives in Oakland, any black man that lives in Oakland or Hispanic, the very first question you'll ever ask in Oakland. I was in Oakland. I lived in Oakland for 20 years. Stopped by the police. I don't know how many times. The very first question has always been, are you on probation or parole? It's never driver's license, registration. That is just the normal first question. And because then they know that from that point on, like they turn it into the felony stop or whatever. That's when they got to take you out of your vehicle, handcuff you. You're supposed to sit with your legs folded on the ground. That's why they search your car, search who's ever in the car with you. And, if it's close enough or at their discretion, then they take you to your home and search it.
Okay, run that back. So you said any black man or brown, any black man or Hispanic. Say that. Say it one more time. Make it clear.
Any minority, basically.
Okay.
In Alameda County area, because it's not just Oakland. There's little cities. There's San Leandro. There's Hayward, and basically Alameda County.
Okay.
The very first question you always ask, when you're pulled over, are you on probation or parole? They have these probation sweeps where they just like driving through the block, just driving through the area, just driving through your neighborhood, and they just like pulling over every other black man, whether he's on foot. I mean, one day I was going to the BART station, which is like a subway, almost like a subway or whatever. So I'm walking to the BART station on my way to work in the morning, shirt, tie, briefcase on my shoulder or whatever. They're doing what they call this probation sweep or whatever. And I see them, they just fucking with people. Like I'm talking about they're pulling over whoever. It's crazy. And as soon as he finished with that person, he drove right up on me. Now, luckily, I kind of, I've been there before, whatever. I kind of just like, come on, dog. You see what I have on? I have on work clothes. Like, you really finna do this. I gotta be to work. As bad as I'm going to work. The BART station is 1 block over. I'm going to work. But you'd rather fuck with me than for me to be doing something productive, right, or be doing the right thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want you doing the right thing. And it's obvious. It is obvious. So it's a crazy fucking law. It's a crazy fucking law. The only time that nobody followed through with that, I was coming home, it was like about 4 a.m. I was coming home from a club, and it was a state trooper that pulled me over, not Oakland police or Alameda County Sheriff. It was State Highway Patrol. This was the only time I didn't have no trouble. The dude pulled me over. I was still on probation, and you have to let them know. You have to do that. If you don't, that's an automatic violation. So he didn't ask me. He didn't even ask me the same questions that an Oakland or Alameda police would ask. He just, license, registration, why you speeding? And I told him, I said, well, before you go back to your car, I do want to let you know I have a 4-way search clause and I am on probation. And first of all, his ass popped out his head. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? He was like, damn, you just really tell me? Okay, he was like, who's your probation officer? I was like, it's court probation. I don't have a probation officer. And he was like, okay. Any weapons or anything like that in the car? I was like, no, ain't no weapons in the car. I just wanted to be honest. He was like, okay, step out the car. Now, again, protocols, they handcuffed you and they supposed to put you on a curb or whatever. And he took me back there. His rookie, he's training somebody. Well, the rookie sitting back there ready to go. You want me to cuff him? You want me to cuff him? And the police officer was like, nah, this guy, he said, this guy was straight up with me. It was a white police officer, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, this dude was straight up with me. He gave me information that I didn't even have to ask. I appreciate that. He was like, I'm going to go look in the car. And if everything the way you said is, man, I'm going ahead and let you go. Now, you know me, I had some weed in the car. And, but, I told him, no, I told him that. I told him, I said, look, I said, no, there is some weed in the middle piece right there, whatever. He's like, okay, all right. And this was before the law had changed.
The revolution of
yeah, you're right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? This was before the law had changed. And anyway, and so he actually he lifted up the middle piece and he grabbed the weed, and that's the thing he searched. He looked at the weed and he looked at the person the girl that was with me, whatever was happening to be my baby mama. And he was just like, he just looked at it and he winked. He said, oh, that's not weed. Let's just say that's dirt. And he put it back in the thing and he came back to the car. He's like, okay, Mr. Robinson, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Thank you for being honest and, making my job easier. I was like, damn, And so now I'm not saying every police encounter will be like that, but I'm not finna sit up here and I'm going to be credible. I'm not going to just jump on California police. The highway patrol treated me very respectfully, but the Oakland police, if they pull you over, male, female, minority, your first question will be, are you on parole or probation?
Okay, so I'm gonna move it right along. We have one more question for you, so we can keep it moving. I want to know: do you think any Black activist / celebrity, i.e., Ice Cube, Dr. Umar Johnson, Dr. Boyce Watkins, and Puff Daddy, any people like that, do you think they have spoken to any of your issues and concerns as it regards their, your Black contracts with America? Starting to galvanize our own Black political party, anything that they have spoken on. Do you think that it speaks to any of your issues for this election?
So Ice Cube said that the reason that he went to Trump, he said he went to the Biden campaign first and was told that we'll get back to you.
Right.
Because of what he wanted to discuss or whatever the case may be. I don't know how true it is, whatever the case may be. Then he said he went to the Trump campaign and they was ready to see him right there. They was ready to talk right now. Mm-hmm. If that is true, I understand. I don't agree with it. But when you're in more of a privileged position, maybe sometimes you just lose sight of some of the things that before you got in that position affected you in your area. Like 50 Cent says he's going for Trump because of the taxes being raised. Because he's in that bracket that it would affect. I mean, now I'm not going to let money, if I'm that comfortably, living that comfortable, I'm not going to let money over cast my morals. Because when you are a celebrity or whatever, you have to understand that even though you don't think you do, you represent a whole community. And choices that you make can affect people that are your race or that's from your community, but that may not be in the economic bracket that you're in. So because of economics and only economics, he felt he needed to vote for Trump. That does not speak to me. I don't understand making $400,000 a year. I don't understand what issues come with that. Ice Cube said there's supposed to be some type of 500 billion platinum package or whatever. I would need more information to see what that covers before I could really make an honest assessment of that. But I do know that is, I'm not going to put this on anybody, but I do see that it people become complacent. You know what I'm saying? They get to a certain economic level, and I'm not saying that they do it on purpose. It's just sometimes if it's not in your face every day, you just don't see it. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes those things are no longer your issue.
Okay. All right. I'm going to switch this up a little bit. Instead of just going through the panel, we want to speak on some of the items that was in the Black contract for America that Ice Cube presented. And we just want to, dig into those for a minute, and then, you guys can comment from there. Henry, he has that information pulled up for us. Can you point out something that sticks out to you as regards Ice Cube's contract?
Not a problem. Well, one of the big ones right off the rip is definitely from the financial side of the house. Federal funding, and then the financial reserves for the for Black folks. And let me.
Or turn them up. So.
Can you hear me now? All right, there we go. All right, so the federal funding and Federal Reserves. Well, let me start off by saying for the contract with Black America that Ice Cube is spearheading. There's 13 different sections, and the two that I'm talking about right now is Section 3 and Section 4. It talks about federal funding and Federal Reserve. So federal funding was past federal programs providing each child with a government funded trust account. Excuse me, at birth, starting at about $1,000 or $1,000 contribution, and then the Federal Reserve's one is for qualifying Black Americans. Federal Reserve to allow a one-time interest-free loan for home ownership. And the reason why those things are, why I'm kind of bringing those up now is, obviously we talked about prison reform, and we talked, there's some other conversations that have been talked about police reform, things of that nature. So those are in there, and those are absolutely, absolutely imperative. But those are kind of the big tickets that everybody's been talking about, and everybody kind of pays attention to because it affects you right here, right now. But I guess my thought is, as a community, we can't just look at the right here, right now. And I think that's part of what our problem has been, that we keep getting sidetracked by the right here, right now. And, kind of looking forward and looking at some of the things that he mentioned in there. These things are some big ones that will affect the next generation and the generation to follow. The big part of that is closing the wealth gap. And I think those are some, I don't know if I would say that those are, those are absolutes, that they're definitely going to close the wealth gap, but I think that they will aid and help in closing the wealth gap. And so I guess my thought or my question or my concern or my question, I guess, is, is it, are we looking at that as well? Because, the reality is, as everybody's, kind of noted and mentioned, is we've been getting our ass beat for years. Mm-hmm. And, we'll continue to do what we're doing, and we're going to continue to fight that fight. But it's not just that, and like E.Mandisa said, that, hey, we got to do a lot of stuff on a local level. But when it comes to the national level, these things are some things that we can do, that we can fight for on the national level, that are going to help Black folks across the board for generations to come. So just, have the folks on the panel kind of, like dug into any of that kind of stuff or thought about it, or, or what's their take on that? I mean, do they agree, disagree?
Okay, so ask the question again. Exactly what you what you want the panel to respond to.
The federal, like the general or the generational, or excuse me, the financial gap between Blacks and pretty much every other culture in this country right now. Mm-hmm. And do some of these things address, or or have they thought about, like how to make up those gaps, or, how to replenish those, or, basically to make that gap smaller in the financial department from Blacks to the other cultures in this country. And obviously with the contract with Black America, he's got a couple of things in there. And, do they feel that those are addressing that, or going to help out with that?
Okay, so the question is, first let's start here. Have any of you on the panel read the let me get the name of it. The Black, I say the Black contract. What is the official name of it?
Contract with Black America.
Contract with Black America, presented by Ice Cube. Although there was a lot of writers, he got a lot of help with this. Have anyone of you actually taken the time to read the proposal?
Well, I haven't read the whole thing, but I kind of perused it.
Right.
And to me, it's just an expansion of, do you remember when Tavis Smiley used to have the State of the Black Union?
Yes.
Mr. Farrakhan and Dick Gregory and all of our Black leaders.
Yeah.
We've known.
Right.
We've known.
Right.
We know what we need.
Right.
We know what we need. What I like is in Trump's, what does he call it? Trump's Platinum Plan. One of the things that he wants to do is for Black folks to be able to put things like their cell phone bill, their rent, things like that you normally can't get credit for paying on time.
Yep.
To help build credit.
Yeah.
Because that's really a lot of our problems is that we've got bad credit.
Well, that particular thing has been implemented in the banking industry, in the mortgage. I was a loan officer for 10 and a half years. So
right.
That's how I got a lot of my FHA clients through. If they didn't have credit or they only had a couple of things on their credit that was negative, we were able to help them remove those items and then help consider their electric bill, the cell phone bill was the last thing that they would let us consider. But if there was just really no other credit for them to look at, then they would let us, use the cell phone bill. But yeah, your utility bills, as long as you had 12 months of uninterrupted, paid as agreed every 30 days, we were able to use that to build credit. So that one has actually been implemented. I don't know when. I just know I got a lot of my FHA clients through that way. But sorry.
I think he's trying to make it so that it's just a done deal.
Okay.
That it's you don't have to jump through any hoops. It's not like, if they let us use your telephone bill.
Right.
No, you're going to be able to use the cell phone bill.
Uh-huh.
Also, I think that, people that Black folks that are looking for investments and everything, if we begin to have investment groups, then we could take advantage of the opportunity zones and build businesses in some of these areas that need to create jobs for our people.
Yes.
So I just really think it's about us just showing up. I think we've always known what needed to happen. It's just that we got to get in where we fit in and focus on the policy and talk to the people that are in the position to make those changes. I think we're headed in the right direction. It's just that, no more talking. We've got to get together. And like I said, I've read the Ice Cube thing, and it's no different than what Tavis Smiley and everybody else have been coming to the table with for the last 20 years that I've been in activism.
Now, when you say come to the table, has anyone besides Ice Cube actually put it in writing and called it a contract and was willing to actually take it to legislative and try to get it implemented?
Yeah, absolutely. Tavis Smiley wrote it came out it was a whole book. And this was in the early 2000s, right before Minister Farrakhan had the Million Family March. They've all come together. They've all written it down and they've taken it. But again, we got to move out locally and nationally simultaneously.
Right. Now,
if we just focus on national and then we go, it's just like going to the Million Man March and then we came back to the same stuff in our own neighborhood.
Okay.
But if we'd had a Million Man March in every city simultaneously,
right,
now that would have been more powerful.
That would have worked out. Okay.
Right.
I agree. There's a lot of other things I want to dig into about that, but for the sake of time, we want to move right along. And if we have time, we'll definitely come back to that. And Monet has been very gracious with us. She's actually on the East Coast, so I think it's like it's almost 10:30 there. And so I want her voice to be heard. This is going to be phenomenal. Anyway, I want to introduce her as well as give her propers. Monet Amore, the singer, actor, writer, and host. You can see her featured in the spring/summer edition of Style and Soul magazine. She's currently she's also a Black activist as long as I've known her. She's currently promoting her new single, Insecure. And make sure you guys check out her music video, Insecure, featuring Murder Mook. I said that right?
Wow, what?
Yes.
Okay.
And also make sure y'all check out Quita the OG. Y'all make sure y'all check that out too. Which I can follow. Definitely follow her on Instagram and then her YouTube channel as well. Monet, oh my God. It's such a pleasure to have you. It's been years since we've been able to get together and do something. When I met you, you've always been a great talent and a phenomenal woman, and we're just glad you're here. And I've followed your career as well. You've done some great things in the industry, and now that you are willing to add on to this conversation, we are honored.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here. Thank you for having me. I think this is important what you're doing. I just want to give you your props for having this platform.
Thank you.
And it's very important that we have these conversations, and it's very, even the panel that you have, the diverse panel, it's important so that people, a lot of times think that we're just artists and we don't think,
right,
you know what
right.
I mean? We don't care about whatever politics or the economy or things of that nature. I mean, it's important to show that, we think about everything.
Yeah.
That's why we're artists.
That's right.
So, thank you again.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
So, you're going to bless us with that song, right? That your new single, Insecure?
Yes. I was having a few technical difficulties over here, but let's see what I can.
Okay. Well, let us know if you need more time. Lord knows we can talk. We can talk to take up the time.
Can you guys hear it?
No.
No. Oh. Okay. You know what? Keep talking.
Okay. All right. So, E.Mandisa, I had cut you off. You were saying something really, really good, but I wanted to get her in. We were, you were still reiterating that, we have to deal with things on a local level, and everything we do has to be, done on a local level. So, as you were saying, if it's the Million Man March, let it be the Million Man March in your city, in your state, your town, your county. So that's what you were saying before I had to interrupt you.
Absolutely. Because I've organized all over the country, and although we have the same problems everywhere we are,
yes,
they're different in every city. Out here in Seattle, in Washington State, we're only 4% of the population of the state.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how we would prioritize our agenda would be different than LA, would be different than Oakland, would be different than New York.
Right.
And our politicians are different, we're blue in Seattle, but we're very, very red in the rural areas, So you have to do the demographics and know your own community, and then you move out from there, and that's absolutely going to affect national politics, because especially when you're at your state legislator, your state representatives go to DC,
right,
and they carry your message with them. So as far as I'm concerned, we're focused on musicians, because musicians are the only one that have had a success with Congress. And y'all know that?
Yeah.
We're the only ones that won.
And I'm glad you said that. I'm glad. And
we're the only ones that won. We're the only ones that got them to work together.
Okay.
The Music Modernization Act was passed unanimously by both parties, by both houses of Congress. It's never been done before.
Wow.
So we're here to lead the people. The musicians are.
That's right. I'm so glad you said that, because when we were talking about Ice Cube's contract earlier, and we were talking about Tavis Smiley and some of the other Black activists and dignitaries that has done it before or tried to implement it before, and even me, I remember the TV show, but I don't remember them actually having something in writing. And the reason why I ask, because I don't remember, it wasn't memorable, and that's no knock or that's no shade. My next question was going to be, how much was it talked about? Did it hit the media?
It was very much talked about, because it was right around the time of the OJ trial, the Million Man March.
Yeah.
So it was a book that was published and sent all to activists, Black activists all around the country.
So something came in and kind of took the attention away from it. And the reason why I think your Ice Cubes and your Puff Daddies and people like that are important, and it's not about so much us supporting the celebrity, but I like what Ice Cube said in the contract. I think there were, you said how many different sections, Henry?
13
different sections. He said, find something you like. There is something that speaks to us as the Black community. And who knows, I'm not sure. I know that Ice Cube got a lot of help with this. He may have gotten help, from some of the people that did it before. Your Tavis Smileys. I don't know, but I'm just saying. And so I think the Ice Cube and the Puff Daddy effect is their celebrity, is their the fact that they're musicians, producers, and and Ice Cube himself has always been very vocal. He's always been a black activist in all of his music. He's always been very vocal about the wrongdoings of our, to our community. And so the reason why it's very important for us as artists, especially to use our celebrity and have these conversations, or to present a contract, or to propose a black party, is because of this right here, because we're listening, we're talking about it, and some of us are not going to agree. Some of us are going to hate on the very idea. Some of us is going to say it's been done before, but we're talking about it, and our attention is focused on it. I think Ice Cube and Puff Daddy are doing exactly what they're supposed to do. I remember I used to have this saying that you ask to be famous all your life. You ask to succeed in your career. And when you finally get the platform, how dare you not stand up and tell the people what they need to hear? How dare you not feed the people with knowledge? How dare you not give them spiritual food? How dare you not give them something that's going to take us further, especially knowing the struggles. Every other hip-hop artist talks about growing up in the projects, mom's a hoe, mom's a crack addict, and all these things, or getting police brutality, all these things. So if you have a platform and the whole world is paying attention to you, how dare you not do something to lead our people out of oppression? So I think Ice Cube and Puff Daddy are doing exactly what they're supposed to do, whether we agree with the way they're doing it, whether we like it or not, something is being done. And
I almost think that he has a duty, not to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I feel like he has a responsibility to do that. And I say him specifically because remember, when they started out, he was the very problem. That whole NWA and everything.
I mean,
he was dropping knowledge.
And that's how it always is.
Yeah, but they were young, and they were speaking
very radical.
What they
very radical.
They were speaking what they knew. But I think that now he understands the damage. Some of the damage that is done, and it's like he's got that responsibility that he has to come out. Now it's time to fix it. Yep. And I applaud him for that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or at least trying.
So I feel like honestly, not to cut anybody off.
No.
I feel like D.L. Hughley is wrong.
Oh yes.
That's just how I feel. I feel like we love to tear our own people down.
Yep.
And I feel like D.L. Hughley, one, I've never really been the biggest fan of D.L. Hughley.
Right.
Because I feel like I just see right through him. He's an asshole.
Right.
Like, yeah, he say real shit. Excuse my language. He say like things that are real, but like, I feel like, dang, why are you coming at Ice Cube? Like, he's doing something. Forget about the optics. I know it looks crazy that like he's trying to work with Trump, and the timing might be off, but like, at least he's doing something. He's doing more than just sitting around and running his mouth like you are.
Okay.
So like, I say props to Ice Cube.
That's right.
Yeah, the timing probably could have been better, but like, at least somebody is going out there on Black people's behalf. Trying to make better of all of our situations. So like, props to Ice Cube. Like, anybody else that got a problem with it, I just think you crazy.
Yeah.
Jamal,
sometimes you have to work with people that aren't necessarily, have your complete views or believe what you believe. But if they're willing to listen, if they're willing to do something, I think it counts. That's it.
Hey, Jamal, I agree with you 100%, except for the one piece of the timing. I think the timing is absolutely perfect right now because of what's going on and because of the light that's been shined. He's taking this opportunity to say, and I think the one part that I think as a community we tend to ignore is what he's actually been saying and what he's actually doing. Yeah. He's not saying that I'm for a political party because he's saying very specifically he's not supporting Trump, he's not supporting Biden. He's saying very specifically, I want to work with whoever is going to listen, who's going to be in power to make these changes happen.
That's right.
He doesn't give a damn about what political party they're a part of or any of that. And I think that that's the part that, D.L. Hughley missed. Yeah. And I think that a lot of people keep missing, just because he met with Trump, who fucking cares what the guy's name is or what he stands for everything else. If he winds up agreeing with anything that's part of that contract and he's in power and he makes some of that stuff happen, then we as a community win, and it doesn't matter the rest of that political bullshit.
Right.
So I think that's the part that
because we can't sit up there and like talk shit about how things are going, but Trump is willing to reach out and talk to us, whether it's a stunt, whatever is the reason for.
Yeah.
We can't turn down a meeting that he's willing to have and then go back and complain. Now we're being hypocritical.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know,
Exactly.
He's an asshole and all that shit, but you understand, Kim Kardashian was able to go to Donald Trump
and get the work done.
And get it done.
She's been getting work done.
And get some work done. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? You have to understand, if you ain't tried to have a conversation with him, like I think, was it D.L. Hughley that said he would never meet with Trump, or who was that? Might have been, but you know what I'm saying? But if you've never attempted to have a conversation with Trump or never attempted to do anything, you can't come from the background talking shit.
Right.
You know
and Trump signed the Music Modernization Act into law. That's all going to make us wealthy with our streaming. So he signed that into law. So come on, man. The musicians met with him.
Yeah.
When was this? When was this?
I'm not saying I'm a Trumper.
2018.
I'm not saying I'm a Trumper. Okay. I'm just saying.
You have to meet at the end of the day. We got to stop being stupid.
Yeah.
Right.
Even if the Democrats don't do all the voting.
Right.
Democrats and Republicans have to vote.
Yeah.
And so you need to have allies on both sides. It's absolutely retarded not to.
That's how life goes. That's how life goes.
It's just like if mom doesn't give you what you want, you go and cry to dad.
Right. Right.
Because I'll tell you this. Because if Ice Cube hadn't have taken advantage of that opportunity, that would have fucked a whole lot of opportunities coming in the future.
Most certainly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That would have, and then it's Ice Cube. He could pull that shit off.
Right.
Man, it's cute.
It's cute.
You know what I'm saying? It's cute.
The only reason why I said bad timing is because you do have people that like aren't necessarily paying complete attention, and these people may be sheep and may just be dumb and may be like, oh, he is supporter of Trump. Let me go vote for Trump.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I say the timing is like, but I mean, at the end of the day, like.
But that's where we come in.
So.
Yeah.
But
that's literally where we come in.
You definitely have people who are just, they're along for the ride.
Right.
So they don't know. They haven't even paid attention to what's going on at all. They just know everybody hates Trump. So they're jumping on that bandwagon. And they don't know. But you have to really look at policies. Like she said, again, it goes back to that. Look at policies. All you have to do, and you can just Google what Biden's policies are, what Trump's policies are. Like you can, it doesn't take that deep research. It's just, if you care, you'll do it. And I just feel like the timing would have never been right.
Right.
It's always just people who are followers.
Yeah.
And
but bottom line, I love the idea of having a black party. Man, we got power, we got muscle, and we got to start flexing that shit.
Yeah.
We got to start flexing that shit. Yeah. And that's what my piece was about. Yeah. Like, our shit, like, you got to understand, they actually had a conversation about the power of black men specifically voting. Right. We've never been put on any type of pedestal.
Yeah.
Ever. Yeah. Right? They actually like, listen, we got to get, you know what I'm saying? Biden and Trump is like, no, we got to get these brothers. You know what I'm saying? We got to get the black man on our team. Obama speech, not yesterday, but the day before, was kind of targeted toward that because of the report that the Democrats are lacking in vote for the black men. That says a whole fucking lot than it said 10 years ago, 20 years ago, right? So we got power as a black community. We gotta start flexing that shit. Yeah. We done changed culture. We done changed the way people dress. We done changed the type of music that's being played. We done changed everything in this motherfucking world. We got power. We gotta flex that shit.
Including building the country as well. I want to say two things to wrap this part of the conversation up and see if Monia is ready to perform for us. But, two things to that subject. One, and you guys covered it all. You guys said everything I can say and more. Everybody on the panel, from E.Mandisa to Jamal, you guys have said everything that I could have said. But the last two things I want to add on is, number one, you always got to speak to power. You got to speak to power. And as much as we don't like it, Trump and his administration is in power right now. So you have to speak to power. You got to speak to power to move the mountain. You got to speak to power. That's what Ice Cube did. And number two, as it regards a plan, there's a lot of conversations that we've been left out of. There's a lot of, there's a lot of seats at the table that we have not been privy to. And we don't know exactly what the plan was when Ice Cube executed his plan. One thing we know in the entertainment industry, and I'm going to speak to the entertainers, there's a certain thing called a press run. So when you're promoting a book, a movie, a TV show, an album, a single, when you put it out, what do you do next? You do a press run. You go and you speak on every platform, every avenue that will have you so that you can get it out to the people. So there is a strategic plan. This wasn't a willy-nilly thing. I mean, just looking at it logically. I haven't spoken to Ice Cube yet, but not yet. But if we're just going to look at it logically, there is a plan in place. We may not understand it, but I guarantee you everything is happening the way it's supposed to happen.
Absolutely.
A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about Breonna Taylor and the outcome of that. And as I said, first of all, money can't replace a child. But, how many, I'm not saying there's none, but how many times have we been awarded anybody in the Black community that amount of money for police officers' criminal activity towards us or on us? I think it's never happened, but if it has, somebody can correct me. But I know this is one of very few times that it did. And so now we have the funds to continue fighting this very thing, as well as laws have been changed as it regards the Breonna Taylor case, as well as the George Floyd case. So we are making progress. And we don't know what the plan is. This is just the stepping stone. We've been heard. Supreme Court, we've been heard. We've been heard. A lot of people, maybe when they went to court with the Breonna Taylor case, maybe they didn't expect a win. But sometimes, as you move that big boulder up against the hill, up the hill, it's still, it's going to be a step-by-step thing. It's going to be a step-by-step thing. And it may seem that we'll never get there, but if we all keep pushing it up, eventually we'll get to the top. And so we don't know what the plan is. We don't know how Ice Cube and his constituents sat down. We don't know what they, what plan of action. We don't know what timetable they're on. But I guarantee you everything that's happening right now is supposed to be happening, and it is for a bigger purpose that maybe the masses can't understand yet. But keep that in mind. Artists, we create and we pull things from the ethers, right? Everybody that's not on that vibration won't get that same rhythm, that same vibe. That's why there's hit songs and then there's flops. So, without further ado, speaking of hit songs,
I like that.
Let me bring Monia Amore to the stage.
Yay!
Yay!
Awesome.
Give her a hand clap.
Thank you. All right, so this is my song, Insecure. Let me know. I'm just going to sing along with it.
Okay.
Every day, I tell you that I love you, don't act that way. What more can I say? Instead of me, enjoying love, it's like I gotta prove it to you. Ooh, I never been the type to work so hard to show you how I feel. You know it's real. When I rearrange my life, so tell me what it takes to get through to you. What more can I do? I'm everything. Mean you ain't gotta be so insecure. You found what you've been waiting for. Relax, fall back, don't slow down. Tell what you've been waiting for. Every day, as soon as I'm gone, check my phone, see who's been calling me. Like I'm not trustworthy. They constantly following me, walling out 'cause I'm not in your view. acting a fool. I'm tired of the fight. You know what it's like dealing with you. Sometimes you make me lose my mind. And I'm willing to sacrifice. I won't give up. Rome wasn't built overnight. So let's get this right. I've done everything. Yeah. Found what you've been waiting for. Relax. Don't rush, slow down. Yeah. Oh. Oh, yeah. Everything that you need, you ain't gotta be so insecure. Know what you've been waiting for. Relax, relax, don't rush, slow down. Tell what you've been waiting for. Baby, I want you. Baby, I need you. And everything you ever needed more. Everything. You ain't gotta be so insecure.
Yes. Woo!
Hey.
Come on, Monia.
Gassing.
I'm putting that on my playlist as soon as we get off.
Oh,
we
man.
love it.
It was already raw, but then that Murder Mook verse came on and he came on there gassing. Yo, that whole piece was hot.
It's dope.
Yo.
It's so dope. Where can we get it, Monet?
That's on all major platforms. It's on iTunes. It's on Spotify. It's on everything.
Yes.
And it's also, if you go on to Monia Amore, Monia Amore, my YouTube and my website. You can pick that up.
You guys go stream that, go cop that, support that. It's a beautiful piece by our own Monia Amore, New York's finest. We love it. We love it. We love it.
And if y'all sleep on Murder Mook, y'all tripping. Y'all straight tripping if y'all sleep on Murder Mook.
So I have a couple of questions for you. We kind of get down to that time, and we're going to have Jamal close us out. But I do have a couple of questions for you really quick. As a sister that has always stood for the people and justice for the people, do you think that we as entertainers have a duty to not only be a part of the change, but lead the charge in the pursuit of justice for Black Americans?
I think we absolutely have a duty.
Yes.
And the reason why is because this is how they are cultivating the minds of the youth.
Okay.
And it's through our music and our art.
Yes.
And it can be used for good or it can be used for bad.
Yeah.
And I think that if more people took their responsibility more serious, that we could definitely spark change. If you think about it, some of the greatest eras of music, the 70s, where they, that's when they had like the 60s and 70s, when they had the civil rights movements and things of that nature.
Yeah.
The music always reflected what was going on.
Yes.
And that's one of the things that I feel like it definitely does now, but I feel like we lack messages. Yes. And now it's just like, it definitely reflects what's going on now. This generation is kind of just like all over the place, and that's where it is. Not being critical, but just telling the truth. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, they always say the 90s was that love, 90s R&B love.
Yeah, I remember. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The product of the 70s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The products of the 70s where everything was like, ooh, baby. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. Everything was
you could just do that again, just for us. We just want it again, one more time.
That feeling. It was messages, and we began the music reflected us, and then we listened to the music and we reflected that type of music was going on, playing in our ear. How can you be angry? How can you be mad?
Right.
How can you just want to love somebody?
Right.
And I think that is how they control the masses, through the music. So they allow now everything to be that on the radio, like let's dumb it all down and let's keep them naive and ignorant, and then we can control them.
Then we can control them.
Do you understand?
Yep.
Yeah.
I understand and I agree. Okay, and I'm gonna move right along. I'm not gonna let everybody chime in on that. Let me get to her next question, just for the sake of time. What do you think putting all of our black dollars together would do for our status in this country?
I think the black dollar holds a lot of weight, and I think we just need to realize that. Once we realize that, like your brother was saying, we take our money, create a black nationalist party, and watch them jump through hoops for our votes. It'd be a lot easier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we'll have a say in the changes that happen in this legislation. It'll be a whole different story. Dr. Claude, I think it was Claude Anderson who kind of hit me to that game.
Yeah.
You guys have read any of his books, but definitely, if you haven't, pick up some of his books. He worked on those campaigns for a lot of those people, and he said, he's older. He's an older gentleman now. He knows he's on his way out. Forgive me, Lord. You know what I mean? He knows. So, they get to a mature stage, and they're like, I'm telling you,
ain't what it used to be, huh?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But shoot,
right?
like that's why we talking Trump and Biden. They at that age too. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to ask one more question, which just came to me when you were saying it. Do you think, or anyone that can answer this question, do you think that like what you just said, as far as our black dollars being very powerful, as Aziez said, how we hold a lot of weight, as E.Mandisa has spoke about us being black activists as well as musicians, pushing our agenda. Here we are, 2020, and we're still having this conversation. I mean, do you feel like it just fell on us like a ton of bricks and said, oh, we need to get together? Or do you feel that we just have not been listening and we just been, I don't want to say lazy because that word is very offensive. We just, been complacent with what's been going on. So we just haven't done anything about it. And now because we're fed up, or what's been happening with our communities? What's been happening to where now we're talking about doing all these things? What's going on that makes us? Go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
I think for a long time, a lot of us felt like our vote didn't count or didn't matter, and so we kind of fell back like, this is not my game. So we failed to educate ourselves. We failed to even indulge, because we felt like no matter what the outcome is, we're always going to be looked at as the lowest on the totem pole. And I think when Obama got elected is when people kind of woke up and said, wait a minute.
We can actually do this. We can actually affect change.
You know what I mean? Yeah, we can affect change in some way, whether it's the smallest way or not. We can definitely affect it. So we might want to start looking into that. And I think more and more people started to get into it.
Yeah, it's more information available.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, I'm going to move us right along. Jamal has been waiting very patiently. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And don't you worry about the time. We're going to get it in with you. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about it. But I do want to get to you, Jamal. I had him on the show. It was maybe about a month ago. And I'm glad, it's an honor to have you back. You're a phenomenal singer, songwriter, vocal coach, musician, and entrepreneur yourself. And you are currently promoting your dual single, which is Starlight and LMLYT. Tell me what the acronym stand for.
Okay, it stands for Let Me Love You Tonight.
All right.
So I released Let Me Love You Tonight a little over a month ago. It's actually a re-release of the same song. Yes. It's just an acoustic version.
Yes.
And then I guess 2 weekends ago, I did a collaboration with a awesome producer named Juno Ray. And we created this song called Starlight, which I'll be performing tonight. Oops, sorry. Just a little bit about Starlight. It's a song about yourself, loving your best, your highest self.
Yes.
So it's pretty much like you seeing yourself, you acknowledging that there's more growth in you and you striving to be your highest self. So that's the gist of the song, but I wrote it in a way where it's like, it's kind of a love song. I kind of write in two different, in a way where you could interpret a song, whatever fits for you. But that is what the song's about, self-love, so to speak. So
which one are you doing?
And thank you for having me, by the way. I'm glad to be back. This is great. So thank you for being here. Yeah.
Always. You have a home here. Have a home here on 2020 Vision. So which one are you going to perform for us first?
I'm going to do Starlight for you guys. Right. And both songs are available on all music platforms. So go ahead, check it out, put it on your playlist, and tell somebody else about it. Please and thank you.
At Jamal Lamont, y'all go support, stream it, buy it, play it. We love the streams, you guys, especially us independent artists. It comes straight to us. We're not signed to a major, but what's beneficial to us is there's not a middleman. We put all the money in. That means we get all the money out, honey. So every time you stream it, those dollars comes to us, and those cents comes to us because they start off as little bitty pieces of change. But if you keep streaming, it'll add up for us, and we can use it to invest then back into ourselves. We also use it to know where you guys want us to come and perform. So if it's more plentiful in Ohio than it is Georgia, we're going to Ohio, we're hitting Ohio first. So keep that in mind. And then the last thing I want you guys to keep in mind is that the charts, the Billboard charts, the BET Awards, the Grammys, all that depends on your streams. It's being counted. Your YouTube streams, everything. It's all being counted. And we don't have a big machine behind us pushing us as independent artists. So it's all about it's us. It's you and us. It's just us straight to the people. There is no filter. There is no big market push for us. So everything you do it counts for us, literally. So get out there and stream. We say the names. We let you guys know where the platforms are for our music. We do this on purpose every Sunday so that you can get to know us and support us, because we're going to keep creating for you. So continue to support us. Sorry about that, Jamal. Without further ado, Starlight.
Okay. Once again, my name is Jamal Lamont, and the song I'm going to be doing for you guys tonight is called Starlight. You can find it everywhere. Please stream it. I don't know what genre you want to call it. It's very ambient, dark ambient sounding, very euphoric sounding when you listen to the actual track. So check it out. I think it's a great one. It's a unique song, and I'm excited to share. And this is my first time actually performing it. So here we go. All right. Can y'all hear? Up in the stars, I just wanna be where you are. If you're far, I'll find you. Stars, I just wanna be where you are. If you're far, I'll find you. Shoo-be-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. What if I told you I'd do anything for you? And if I told you I love you, will you see things through? Because I'll fly high to make things right. You are my light, no one can shine as bright. Up in the stars, stars, I just wanna be where you are. If you're far, I'll find you. Stars, I just wanna be where you are. If you're far, I'll find you. Shoo-ba-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. 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 Shoo-ba-doo-doo-doo. What if I told you my heart is beating just for you? Elevated, elated, you're the greatest part of me. Because we are one, no separation, no. The good life, no one can shine as bright. Up in the stars, stars, I just wanna be where you are. If you're far, I'll find you. Stars, I just wanna be where you are. If you're far, I'll find you.
Yes.
And that's the song. So, check it out. Check it out. Check it out.
Yes. You got another one for us?
Y'all want another one?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. This is my single I just released a month ago. I'll do a little bit of it. It's called Let Me Love You Tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, now that I got your attention, baby, listen loud and clear. I've been wanting you for so long, and now, girl, I got you right here. Oh, such a crazy, sexy, cool, and original. That's what I like about you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just come with me tonight, everything's alright. Let me show you how I do, yeah. Let me love you tonight. I promise I will treat you right, oh yeah. See, I can take you to restaurants, give you things you wanted, that's cool. Or we could chill in the park after dark, listen to Jill Scott tunes. I just want to show you how I feel about you, baby girl. Let's try tonight. If you love me, I'm gonna show you let me love you tonight. Yeah, I promise I will treat you right. Let me love you tonight. Yeah, I promise I will treat you right, yeah. See, I know that in the past you had some bad ones. I wanna show you how a man's supposed to treat the one. I know you feel the same way I do too, yeah. Won't you let me show, yeah. Let me love you tonight. Yeah. I promise I will treat you right. Let me love you. I will treat you right. All right.
You better stop showing off. You better stop showing off, brother.
Nothing at all.
The spirit is high. it's moving, baby.
Thank y'all so much. Thank you, Ameerah, always.
Man, you so dope, man. So dope.
You were up there in my range. I said, wait a minute now.
That's what's up. I'm glad you guys like it.
That's so cool. I love it. And those are out, and we can go get those, right? Or go listen and cop them and all those good things on every platform.
Do your
that's
thing
a platform.
With it, please. Please
Okay.
And thank you.
We're good. I'm glad you were here. I'm glad you were able to perform. I wanted the people to hear you again. I have a couple of questions for you that may seem a little redundant.
Yeah, sure.
And I'll take yes or no answers. But you know, this first one, even though it's a little redundant because we've already, kind of covered it, it's a very serious question. So feel free to take a moment before you answer it. Would you be willing to join a political party that benefit Black people in America as Puff Daddy has proposed? So the trick to that question is, would you actually stand, Puff Daddy, would you actually stand behind something Puff Daddy proposed? Would you jump on board to something of that?
I don't know, to be honest. Since I was able to vote, I've always been independent, even though I lean more towards liberal and progressive. I feel like I identify with both sides, so I don't want any party speaking for me.
Yes,
and that's just how I've always felt. Now, I mean, I'm with black people. I'm always with Black people. I mean, I'm Black. Right. I'm Black as hell.
Right.
So I'm always with the cause. I'm always down for the causes. But as far as like joining the party, I don't know.
That's honest, and that's good. That's the conversations we need to have, because should we expect to just everyone jump on the Black party because someone said, now this is the new political party for Black people? Are we going to just join it? So that, that's a very important question. We're going to move really quickly again, and we're down to those last couple of minutes. Now, did you remind me? Did you read any of the Ice Cube's contract with Black America? Okay,
I sure did.
Okay, so then that next question is non and void.
Okay. But I am going to read it since we were talking about it tonight.
Okay. Good.
There were people on the panel that have like at least skimmed through it. I'm going to do my part and skim through it as well. I already had to do like research before I vote. I'm not one of the mail-in balloters. So I still have to like research the measures and stuff in my area. So along with that, I'm going to read what Ice Cube is proposing as well. So I definitely have my homework this week. This week is like I'm putting it towards politics.
Cut out for you. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
That's good enough for me. And when and on Sunday, we're doing this again on next Sunday. So that's November the 1st. So you can call in or chime in and let us know if there is anything on that contract that you can stand behind.
Okay.
As a Black man. Yep. You know, we really came down to that last moment in this evening, and I really want to thank you guys for being here. If we could quickly go around the panel and you guys say your last comments and your handles again for the people, for the listening and watching audience, that would be great, and we can close this thing out. Starting with you, E.Mandisa, what would you like to leave the people with?
Hey, you know, I am just really excited that we're having these conversations and that, you know, Black excellence, that's all I can say is, you know, that Black excellence matters and we need to focus on that. And you can catch me on the E.Mandisa Effect on Blog Talk Radio and soon to be on Drip the Mic Radio.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. Drip the Mic.
Is there any, what's your handles, E.Mandisa?
E.Mandisa Subira on Facebook. I don't even really know what my Twitter is because I grounded myself from Twitter. So you can find me on Facebook on E.Mandisa at E.Mandisa Subira or the E.Mandisa Effect on Facebook.
And well, thank you for being here, E.Mandisa. And just a quick reminder, you guys can also, she's open and available for readings. So
yes, I'll do your stars. He was talking about the stars. I could help you understand your stars.
Yes.
Yes, I love it.
All right. Aziez, the president of Drip the Mic Network, is here with us, joining us today. What would you like to leave the people with before you go?
Well, definitely thank you for having me. People get out and vote. Again, I'm going to repeat. If you haven't stepped out to either vote or voice your opinion, then don't say shit when something don't go the way you want it. Get out there and vote. You never know what happens. Sis, thank you for having me here on 2020 Visions. I love it. I really enjoyed all the artists, and I wish everybody blessings in their journeys going forward.
And what's your handles?
You can catch me at Peomanologist on Instagram, at Peomanologist on Twitter, Aziez The Peomanologist on Facebook, and you can also catch me on, go to my website at dripthemicllc.com. You can leave me a message there, it'll get right to me, or you can just send me an email.
Well, I'd like to thank you for coming on the show.
For sure.
And also thank you for creating this platform called Drip the Mic Network, where poets, artists, activists, and everyone can come on and be heard.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you guys for the support. Love it.
Yep. Monet, darling. What would you like to leave the people with, and tell them where we can get a hold of you?
I just want to say, you know, your vote is important, and you need to go out and do it. Just go out and do it. I mean, because if it's not counted, then you can't make any type of change, and you can't complain. You can reach me at Monia Amore, which is MONIA AMORE. on Facebook, Instagram, and MoniaAmore.com, and my YouTube channel at Monia Amore as well.
Well, thank you, Monet. I'd like to thank you for coming and sharing your talent with us. You have been my East Coast sister since I've met you. Yes. Your vocals are impeccable. Just, man, I always have been a fan. So again, thank you for sharing your voice. And yeah, and you guys make sure you follow her platforms. She's doing a lot of exciting things. She's showing her acting, her comedic skills. Her activism is always present, as well as her vocals. So you guys make sure you support her. And we're going to actually bring her back for a full-on 2-hour All About Monia Amore interview on 2020 Vision. So you guys stay tuned for that treat. All right. And Jamal, Lamont, last but definitely not least.
What's up? Thank you once again for having me, Ameerah. My message to everybody is please have an amazing week. Please make up your mind tonight that tomorrow and the rest of the week is going to be amazing. I'm making up my mind that it's going to be a superb week. Also, a message I always like to say is lead your heart with compassion. Like, we need more compassion in our daily lives. So please lead with compassion. Again, my name is Jamal Lamont, JamalLamont. You can find me on Jamal Lamont Instagram or JamalLamont.com, which just pretty much leads you directly to my music. Also, Ameerah, I'm trying to come back to the studio because last time you had some good whiskey. So I'm coming back.
That whiskey be popping.
I've never been, so I definitely want to do it.
Yeah, you got to come in the studio. It's lit in the studio. We actually had the whiskey today, and he had it all poured up and ready to go. But it was so much great conversation. We forgot to break in and just do it. Usually we introduce a new bottle of whiskey every month. My husband tells us all about it. He's the guru. And we usually drink it up and have a nice toast. But,
Listen, that last one was good.
Man, I think I got some of the last of that one.
What was the one you got?
I think it was the Asian whiskey or
the Asian,
yeah, that one.
The Yame, that one was really good. This one was Lot 40. Go ahead and speak to this one.
All right, so what we were drinking this month was Lot 40, and it's a Canadian rye whiskey. This one wasn't it wasn't as smooth as all the previous ones, especially like Jamal. I think when you came, we might have actually, I don't know if we were on the Yame or if we were doing the Caribbean Barrel, but now they did the Caribbean Barrel a while ago. Yeah. But the Yame was probably one of the closest to the Caribbean Barrel or to the green spot that we've had, where it's really smooth and nice. This one's a little bit harsher. It's Canadian and American whiskeys are a little bit harsher than the malted aged Scotch and the Japanese aged whiskeys, but they have more. They have more body. They have a lot more flavor, and then they're a lot sweeter. So it's very harsh but very sweet altogether. Whereas the Scotches and the Japanese whiskeys are less harsher, but they're not as sweet. They have a hint of sweetness and a hint of a bunch of different flavors. So it just kind of depends on your palate. But
yeah, so. We didn't get a chance to do that today, but definitely next time. And then November the 1st, we'll have a new bottle of whiskey to show off, and we'll keep it popping. So make sure you guys tune in, stay tuned, come in the studio. It's lit here. I understand that we're tuning in from all over the country and all over the world. But artists, when you come in town, make sure you check your girl out in Burbank at UBN Studios. Okay. Thank you, Jamal. Thank you so much for performing for us and letting your voice be heard. And I can't wait to light it up on the stage with you again when this world opens back
when
up.
Outside opens again, right?
Yes. I miss it so much.
Me too.
Especially when, it's like only two singers and it's like a 7-piece band with only two singers and we got to do backgrounds for each other.
It broke my heart when my Vegas show got canceled. Well, I had to raise a blade to my wrist. Like, no, not the only time I performed in Vegas.
I had 2 residencies that got canceled this year. I'm just like, man.
Yeah,
so
I had a main stage play canceled.
Oh shit.
Yes. And you, Monet, well, you were getting ready to do something big too, Monet.
Oh, we just had a few cruises and and some we had a cruise, the Tom Joyner cruise.
Yes.
Yeah.
But timing is everything.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
There's better things ahead.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason.
That's right.
That's right.
Well, you guys, my name is Ameerah the Songstress, and you have been tuned into 2020 Vision. And again, the message, like it always is love, life, and light. Even when it comes to making a change in our society as a whole, believe me, the Black vote and the benefit of the Black people in our country and in our nation will benefit everyone. You can't do it without us. Don't fool yourself. Don't fool yourself. You can't do it without the people that built the country. Come on, duh. You can't do it without us. So you might as well treat us right. We gave you everything. We want some of that back. So without further ado, I want us to have a good evening. We had some people chiming in today. We didn't get a chance to really go with the chatters today, but really quick, Mario Britton, he said he voted, and he already voted early. We've been having an interesting conversation. Deidre, she gave love to the poets. She said, spit poet. Sade Dixon says she loves you, E.Mandisa. You're amazing. And she also told me that I was beautiful. And she said all of the talent on the panel is phenomenal. Someone tuned in from YouTube, Beauty and Flaws. They said, hey, they wish that more black people would do more research instead of being loyal to the Democratic Party just because of traditions. Again, my name is...
Emil chimed in too. I don't mean to cut you off. Emil chimed in too and said it's a great show as well. So
okay. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother Emil. And again, you can find me on Spotify, iTunes, Ameerah the Songstress at Instagram, Ameerah the Songstress at YouTube, Ameerah the Songstress at Facebook, and you can listen anywhere you like to listen. And remember, stay focused.
Woo! No regret, no regret, no regret. Let me fix my crown, baby. Like dominoes, yeah, it's going down. My feet off the ground, elevated. You feel my soul when you hear my sound. And I don't know why you're like a red light that don't ever change. And you should know why I'm merging to the other lane. I'm getting close, I'm up next, no regrets, making hits is a real.